but yeah, like Liverpool, big rejection last night, and the meltdown is like nothing I've seen. I wasn't going to go live last night until I saw everybody else live, and I thought I've got to go in. I've got to see what my community's saying, and it was crazy. But then watching back Anfield Agenda, I mean, have you seen Sam's rants? Sam losing his mind, and my favorite bit was actually watching the gloating and all the zubies, all the songs they were making up, everything, and now the utter meltdown. And I don't think it's just anger at Zubimendi. It's the Bellingham deal not happening, Yoro not happening, Caicedo not happening, Lavia. The amount of players in the last few years they've gone in for and been rejected for. What does this say? What does this say, boys, about Liverpool in this current moment that they couldn't convince a player to leave Real Sociedad?
Well, it's not good, is it? It's not good. Listen, Zubimendi's made it quite clear he wants to stay at Real Sociedad. Now, it might be because he loves Spain, he loves the club, and he wants to stay there, right? It could be that. But genuinely, if you have got anything about you, you would move to Liverpool from Sociedad. It's not like Sociedad are up there fighting with Real Madrid for trophies. It's not like Sociedad are favourites to be playing Champions League football at the top level, being the last few. I think Liverpool have still got a good team. I think Liverpool are still attractive. I'm just surprised that this one's happened. But then you look at it and you think, why are we? Because Caicedo didn't fancy it. Lavia didn't fancy it. I suppose the difference is Caicedo and Lavia were actually offered a hell of a lot of money from Chelsea and big moves, right? Zubimendi's different because he's kind of just thought, nah, I'll just sit chilling out here. It's all right. I just can't believe it, if I'm honest. I did not see that happening. When he said he was staying, I thought, nah, that will happen. That will still happen. This is mad. And it doesn't look good for Liverpool because they've not been able to have that pull. And do you know what's mad? I'm not saying this because I'm a gooner. All three of our defensive midfielders walk into their first team. Jorginho, Partey and Rice. That's crazy to me because it wasn't that long ago. I was looking at Liverpool's team thinking, love that to be Arsenal's. I'd absolutely love that to be Arsenal's. And now they've got no number 6. Their number 6 is Endo, who they've said they do not want to keep anyway. And he has apparently been playing Gravenberch and Jones in the 6 ahead of him. So that means that his future is massively in doubt. This is not good news, man. Who are they going to end up getting? Are they going to go and get somebody? Or are they going to end up just thinking, well, we'll just keep what we got again, like they did last season? This is poor from Liverpool.
But this is, I have absolutely no sympathy for them, right? Because there's a clip that Terry uploaded of me on the 25th of July. And it was from a show that we did on the 23rd of July, right? In that clip, I said that I don't think Liverpool really want to spend. I felt that the rhetoric that was going around at the time that Arne Slot just wanted to assess his squad was complete and utter nonsense and a cover for something else that was going on. And if that was true, then that was abysmal on the part of Arne Slot because he should have known the squad. And the amount of Liverpool fans that commented on that post and said, there's still 2 months left. This guy don't know what he's talking about, blah, 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 blah. Well, all I say is now is hold that, because you've got now 2.5 weeks to get a DM into your football club. And if you don't, then that is absolutely shambolic. You know what I mean? Liverpool, everyone knew, every single football fan around the world knew that Liverpool needed a DM. You're not telling me, again, repeat what I said on that show, 4 weeks ago. There is no one that's telling me that Arne Slot didn't know that. And if he did know that, then it's the fault of the board. It's the fault of the sporting directors. Liverpool should have got a DM wrapped up early days. And then people say, well, the Euros are on. You can still agree a fee, or you can get it done as soon as the Euros end. There's absolutely no valid reason, no valid excuse that Liverpool have left it this late. And I know there's still 2.5 weeks in the window, but let's be honest now, you're in panic mode and everyone knows you're in panic mode. So the price of everyone's just gone up unless you're doing release clauses. It's their own fault that they've left it this long. It is absolutely their own fault. And I've got to say, a lot of Liverpool fans need to start calling these owners out because I called the owners out. Yeah, and some Liverpool fans didn't like that I called your owners out. Your owners and your board should have got this player across the line as soon as the transfer window opened or as soon as possible. You should not be a week away from the start of the Premier League season, with still no DM. That is absolutely inexcusable. Yet there's a load of Liverpool fans that want to call us out on the terrace when we call out these things and say your club needs to make these signings earlier. There's a lot of Liverpool fans that are calling us out and saying, we don't know what we're talking about. They'll get the job done. They may get the job done. But the fact is, the way that your club's being run at the moment is stupid. You've got players running down the contracts. One of them, Trent Alexander-Arnold, is probably worth around 80 million quid. He's got less than a year left on his deal now. You've got no DM. It's absolutely shambolic. And the amount of Liverpool fans that have fallen for this, oh, Arne Slot just wants to review the squad and check. Give it a rest, man. That is absolute nonsense. So, listen, I've got absolutely no sympathy for him because I called it out weeks ago. And a lot of Liverpool fans didn't like what I had to say. Well, now it's coming home to roost because the league starts this weekend and you've got no DM. It's shocking. It's absolutely embarrassing. I don't know what they're doing there. I don't know whose fault it is. If it's true that Arne Slot wanted to review the squad, that is on him because that's poor. Yeah, everyone knew that he didn't need to go in and assess the squad. Everyone knows that Liverpool needed DM. If it's not on him and they just put that as a cover story, then obviously it's on the owners and the board. But the facts are, more Liverpool fans need to be calling out this way of running the business. You know, they've got all these players running down the contracts. Like, what is going on at that football club? It's absolutely insane.
It's not just the DM either that they need, by the way. They need another left back. I hear people saying that Robertson's coming to decline as a footballer and Tsimikas isn't good enough. They still want another centre-half because Van Dijk can't play 40 games. They still want another number 9 because Nunez can't hit a barn door and Jota's made of biscuits. Diaz they don't rate, which I'm sure we'll come on to that crazy rumour today about Man City at Liverpool, which I imagine is not true. Like, for me, Liverpool's still got a lot to do. You know, and I keep hearing them crying out for Anthony Gordon for like, I mean, he's going to be an unbelievable amount of money. Just go and sort your spine out, man. Don't worry about another left winger. Go and sort your spine out because, for me, Liverpool need that, in my opinion, if they want to be getting close to a title.
This is the thing. I watched about 4 of Liverpool's pre-season games, and they look really good. The football looks good. I think that they're going to be in the title race to a certain degree and point, a little bit like last year. But this is where it becomes a nuanced conversation. In the medium to long term, with the contracts being run down, LB's right, that's disaster because replacing Trent, replacing Van Dijk, replacing Salah is ridiculous amounts of money. Are they willing to spend it? No, it doesn't seem so. Equally, they need the likes of the Zubimendis of this world to be able to try and win the Premier League. And Liverpool fans don't like this pressure, but I believe it exists. Man United were expected to try and win the league in the season of 2013-14, the year after Fergie left, because it was a team that had just won the league, and it was was still looked at by many as a well-run club at that point. We were not expected to come 7th, as an example. Each year that's gone by since then, the expectations have dropped down to almost 0 for us to win the league. Liverpool fans can't be, it's okay to come top 4. It's okay to not be in the title race. No, you were in the title race last year. You were, you won trophies last year. It was only just over a year ago that you were a stone throw away from winning a quadruple. The standards have got to be maintained because you're already up there. Lowering the standards now is crazy. It's different when you've had a decade of failure and you're sitting there where I am and I'm saying, look, we've got to get back to those standards, but it's going to take years because it's 11 years of malpractice. You guys have got a very good squad. You're playing very good football, but not buying anybody now and not renewing these contracts is going to make you fall short. And that should be a problem because if Zubimendi was made an offer that he couldn't refuse, if you had gone out and bought another fullback, if you had gone out and bought that additional attacker to give you more goals, there is a genuine chance if the football that we've seen in pre-season echoed into the Premier League campaign with that extra strength in depth, with your contracts taken care of and players committing their future, you could win the league. And that is the standard that Liverpool should be at and their fans should be demanding. And listen, I'll praise them for the good football that they play, but I think this is an embarrassment for them. I don't blame the journalists. I saw people going in on Ornstein and Joyce. You guys told us it was pretty much done. No, you utter morons. Your club told the journalists that the green light was there, that it was almost done, that it looks like... The journalists don't make this up. They get told by the club. And then we blame the journalists when it doesn't go right. You've got to blame the club. The club have messed up. The club have got ahead of themselves. And Liverpool are normally the best in England at making sure that... That's why when I saw the stories, I assumed it was done. Because Liverpool don't leak these stories without it happening. Caicedo last year, yes, but he'd already committed to Chelsea and that was there. But normally they don't even let a journalist talk about a transfer unless they are 100% sure. So this ain't on Ornstein. This isn't on Paul Joyce. This is on your football club, and they are leaving you short of being able to win the title this year, and you should be absolutely fuming with them. Absolutely fuming. And it's also a bad look because it's so many top players that you just haven't had the ability to land in the last few years, from all the Bellingham talk, the Tchouaménis of this world, Caicedo, Lavia, and now a player choosing to stay at Real Sociedad. I honestly think if Man United, when it comes to Paul, Man United were a team that was looked at as in title contention and we went in for Zubimendi, we would have the Hollywood factor that could bring him in. I do believe we can turn that head. I do believe we've done it this summer.
Why don't you think Liverpool had that though, boys? Like, real talk, why do you think Liverpool have not been able to do that? Because let's be real, Liverpool were talking about winning everything not long ago under Klopp. Like, why have they not been able to go and get that big name player in? And I'm not saying that the players they've got are rubbish, by the way. But like, Mo Salah wasn't a Kylian Mbappe when they bought him, was he? Neither was a Sadio Mane. Neither was a Bobby Firmino. Their midfield of Wijnaldum, Henderson, etc., Fabinho. They built a squad fantastically well. They've never gone and got that world-class star, have they? Do you know what I mean by that? They've never gone over that line and gone, do you know what? I want, let's just say it was Mbappe, but while he was at PSG. Mbappe, I want him to come in and have Salah and Mbappe. Why have they never been able to do that? And I can't answer that. You know what I mean? I really don't know why that is, because they're a massive club. I just don't get why they can't do that.
No, well, clearly it's something that needs to be addressed, because you've read out the names, and Terry's right to call out again the fans that are going at the journalists. You're going at the wrong people. This is what you do when you don't want to attack, because no one wants to attack their own club, right? No one wants to sit here and just attack the club 24/7. But when you if you actually look at the facts, right, you've had multiple players over recent years reject the football club. Martin Zubimendi being the latest one, right? You're not getting a DM. Even though there's only 2.5 weeks left of the window, you've left it this late. That's shockingly bad. And you're letting all your contracts run down to less than a year. That is absolute chaos. I can't believe people are not calling this out more than they are doing. I know, obviously, there are a couple. Hossami's calling it out. But more Liverpool fans actually need to wake up, smell the coffee, and start calling this out. Because all that stuff, even if one of those stuff happens, right? For me, if I'm running a football club and a player rejects me, yeah, I'm wanting to know why. Why is he rejecting me? If another player starts rejecting me, then there's a big problem. If 3 or 4 of my players, best players, are already down on contracts, yeah, within a year, bro, I mean, that's just, and a lot of Liverpool fans are just coasting by saying, oh, you know nothing about our club. Trent will stay, Scouse, right? Whatever then, yeah. You're telling me that all these players are signing. You're telling me that Trent's going to sign. I mean, the facts are you need to get onto your club and you need to start applying pressure, serious pressure on the board and the owner of your football club. Because I tell you what, if Trent leaves and Van Dijk and Salah end up leaving, because obviously they're getting on a little bit, you're not going to be able to get Salah. You're not going to be able to get a Salah replacement. No one that's going to come in on that right wing is going to do a good job of Salah. Your centre-back replacement for Van Dijk is going to be worse than Van Dijk. Your right back, I'm being told by Liverpool fans, is the best right back in the world. So you're going to get a worse right back. And you can't even get a DM across the line. I'm not being funny, mate. It's looking seriously bleak for Liverpool unless they sort this out quickly. They are heavily reliant on Mohamed Salah this year to get them out of trouble.
It is true. And listen, I don't want to hear the but all the other clubs and the money and we're not like everybody else. Let's just go to the cold, hard facts here. Only Bayern Munich, Man United, Barcelona, PSG and City and Real Madrid have a higher income per year than Liverpool. Everybody else, Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal, Juve, Dortmund, AC Milan, Inter, Ati, Frankfurt, Newcastle, West Ham, Napoli. Then it's Marseille, number 20th. And then you start getting lower. You're the 7th wealthiest team. You have the 7th biggest income in the world. And to put that into sort of perspective, this only goes back to 2003, but there is basically 700 million of turnover. To put that into context, like, it's in and around. Bayern Munich's only a couple of million more. Man United is only a couple of million more. Barcelona's is about 70, 80 million more. PSG, you're getting towards 100 million more. But you're not talking about a huge gulf. There's a bigger gap between the 2 or 3 teams below them than there is all the teams above them in terms of income. But they try and talk Oh, yeah, but we can't do what other clubs do. You could definitely afford to pay a bit more in salary. You could definitely afford to spend a bit more in those areas. You have great incentive-based contracts. It's just for some reason, and I don't know why, and I can't put my finger on it. I don't know the reason why, but there is something about Liverpool where it doesn't seem to appeal to the stars. I think it appeals to the players before they're stars. So Fernando Torres, Luis Suarez as examples. But they've managed to keep hold of more of their stars this time round. That they've done a better job of. But when they're going for either those young superstar players on the come up that everybody wants, or players that are in sort of the peak of their career that the world's looking at, Zubimendi is an example. Bellingham was young, but the world wanted. They've not been able to do it. And I think some of it's financial, but there almost appears to be an element that is based, and I know they hate hearing this, is based on their pull. Man United went in for Lenny Euro. Liverpool walked away, and there were nothing to do with Man United. They walked away, and their words were when they briefed the press, he only wants Real Madrid. He wants to be a Real Madrid player. There's nothing we can do. Man United got him. Now, oh, but you just paid him more. Trust me, that's not the only goddamn reason. We're paying him well, but he isn't being paid an exorbitant amount of money for how talented he is and the quality that this young man possesses. Liverpool have got to do more at the end of the day. Otherwise, they're always... And look, rebuilding a great team is the hardest thing to do. Building a great team is very difficult. Rebuilding it straight away, it's so difficult. And you have to put your money where your mouth is, and they're not willing to do it. And I'm a little different. I always feel sorry for football fans when your club owners are not doing enough when they can afford to, because Liverpool can definitely afford to.